And I think we are live. Hi, Marianne. Hey, Barbara. Hi, Diana. People are starting to come on in. I'm going to play the intro and we're going to get started. Hi, Liz, watching us from Facebook.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. It's your birthday, hooray. Happy birthday. It's your birthday, hooray. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! So, happy birthday to all of our November members. And this is our November calendar. Hi, Carrie in the UK. Yay! It celebrates now when you press the thumbs up. Awesome! That's cool, Diana. Yeah, make sure everybody give a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, turn on your notifications, all of that good stuff. This is our calendar. Let's see. Sunday, your time falls back. Don't forget that. I will have a free file coming for you guys tomorrow. I am planning to do the project live with you guys tomorrow. I don't have a time. It will be random as I have to finish designing the project. So just whenever I get everything ready, then we will go live and do that project tomorrow. There will be several random lives coming in the next couple of months that won't be on the calendar, so make sure that you have your notifications turned on so that you get notification. If you don't catch it live, the recording for playback will be available for everybody in case you miss it. Let's see. What else? Oh, yeah, don't forget to vote on Tuesday, guys. Everybody go vote. I'm not going to tell anybody how to vote, but make sure you vote. So, let's see. Next, our giveaways. Let's talk about our giveaways. Over the next couple of months, I have 3 $100 Cricut coupon codes to give away. So, I've selected, like every other week or so, to give one away to give you guys some time to make your projects. Let's see. If you win the one on November the 10th, you will not be eligible for the other two, etc. You won't be eligible again until January to win a coupon code. Okay, and that's just for these 3. So make sure that you are doing that. All you have to do is create any project using any Access image you choose. It can be a free image. If you're an Access subscriber, you can use any image you want in Access. Make sure that you use a Cricut product and post it in the Cricut Maker Projects group or the Crafting with April group in Facebook, and then go over to craftingwithapril.co. You can scan that QR code right there, and it will take you over there. And make sure that you enter your project link where you posted it on Rafflecopter. Are things better in Florida? Things are a little bit better, Lynn, but I mean, they still are what they are. I'm still totaling up a loss. I'm still sleeping on the floor. I did get a bed ordered. It won't be here until the 17th, unfortunately, so I'm still sleeping on a 4-inch or 3-inch, whatever depth, air mattress until that time. Yeah, I doubt that I will recoup the loss. It's probably going to come out to about $35,000 or $40,000 loss. That's not covered by insurance. So that's where we're at. You don't get notified, Diana, make sure that turn off your notification bell and turn it back on. Sometimes it could get stuck, maybe. And also check that it's not going to your spam folder. So it could be going into your spam email. Oh, thanks, Christiana. I appreciate that. Guys, please, please, please make sure that you're shopping my links. That will help. You can also support on Patreon or Ko-fi. And all of that always helps. And we'll talk about that here in just a moment, too. That being said, these are not the only giveaways that are going, guys. You have these 3, and they're going to be by week. Right now, you can only enter the November 10th one. You'll find them all on the same tab over on my site. The other one, and I'm going to talk just a second, our winner for last month, that one, was Dawn Walsh, and she got her AutoPress today. She got it. I spoke to her on Messenger. She's already got it set up. So she's already playing around with hers. Let's see. Let me hide that. Oops, wrong one. Where is it? There it is. This is a new AutoPress giveaway. And you can enter that now. You have up until December the 14th, I believe it says. You can scan that QR code. It'll take you over there. These giveaways are also posted in the groups, in the pinned post. So if you have any trouble or don't know how to enter, let me know. I'll be happy to assist you. All the giveaways are open to the USA and Canada residents. Okay, so that's where we are on those. This is the current sale. Current sale is 50% off materials and accessories, and not to count, I think some of the bundles are still on sale. So those are some of the things that we are having this week. The group code Cuties, as you know, it offers a 10% off discount, and that gives you free shipping on top of your access discount. However, Cricut has had to make some changes, and it is no longer valid on a $50 order. It must be a $100 order of eligible items. I'm sorry about that, Janet. There's not anything that I can do about it. It's not me. I have nothing to do with the amounts. This is strictly Cricut. And I understand everything has gone up in our economy and everything else. So, I mean, you have to kind of expect that across the board for everything. Hi, Joyce. So, I mean, they give us all this free shipping, and it's such a huge discount that they're giving us, especially if you're an Access subscriber. You get the discounts on those Access exclusives and everything else. So I can understand why they're trying to save some on that shipping by changing that to a $100 order. I mean, You don't pay shipping, Janet. That's the whole thing. The shipping's free if you get the $100. You get 10% off and free shipping. And if you don't want to do $100, you just don't use the group code, you can still get your access discounts, and you can use, I think it's Ship at Nov, Ship Nov, or Nov Ship. Those are the two free shipping codes on the Cricut site. You can use those as well. But I just wanted to make you guys aware of those changes. Also, and I'll show you over here if it comes up, you'll see pop-ups inside of Designspace that have the shop links. Guys, those are fantastic. They'll take you right over to Cricut. However, that does bypass me, and I do not earn a commission if you click those. You must use my links to support me when you're shopping Cricut. Okay? Hi, Kathy. So, here is tonight. Yeah, Diana, everything's going up. I mean, at least, you know, you're getting great discounts through Cricut. So, I can't blame them. It happens. I just hope that I don't I don't lose my customers that shop my links through it. Hopefully you guys can stick with me. It is what it is. So, all right. And Jenna, don't worry if you can't afford that $100. You can, like I said, you could always support through Patreon or Ko-fi. There are other ways to support. Supports the channel, the group, and all that kind of stuff. So nobody will be left out. All right. So make sure you're doing that giveaway. You have until we will draw for the first $100 coupon next Thursday. So make sure you get those projects in. Super simple and easy. You can make anything you want. It's a crafter's choice. So this week, this is a supporter file. Now I put both cards into one file here, and my file's kind of messy. But I have everything in one file here just so that I could show you guys. This is what your file looks like. This one, if you open up the full flap, this is the pieces that you're going to see. You can do away with the poinsettia, the sentiment and offset, and this sentiment, and I believe it's all free shapes from that point. Let's just double check. Yes, if you get rid of Merry Christmas and the poinsettia and the Merry Family is Everything, if you do not have access, then that file will cut for free for you. All right, so super easy and simple, and I've already cut this file as well, and I'm going to show you how to put both of them together. This file's a little bit different, but basically the same pieces. They're going to go together almost the same way, but we will be putting both of them together. Does anybody have, I'm just going to hit replace here. I don't want to mess up my file. Does anybody have any design space questions? I know that some of you are still having some issues with subtract and that kind of thing. Is there anything that I can assist anybody with on that this week? Anything, any changes that you need me to cover? If not, I'm going to show you guys a quick little tutorial using some of those using some of the new tools so that you can get a little bit better idea. And I'm going to be doing that over the next few tutorial Thursdays, just so you can get acclimated to the new tools in there to make your designs if you're designing your own stuff for Christmas. So one of the things that we can do, let's work with a little bit of text. And I am going to, let's do an S for whatever reason. I don't know. I'm tired of doing C's. I always do C's for Crafting with April. Let's take the letter S, and I am going to create an offset. For those of you who do not know how to create offsets, right here. And I am going to keep that squared up. I don't want it rounded, so I'm going to square that up. And I'm going to leave that, I think I'm going to leave that at 0.25 and apply, because I want to fatten that letter up a little bit. But then I want to do another offset a little bit smaller. So I'm going to come in here. Let's see. I don't want that 2.5. I want to come in just, actually I want to come in there a little bit bigger, not smaller. I think that's what I did. If not, I can make another one. I'm going to do that one, and let's change the color of that so that we can see. No, that's too thin. Don't want to do that. Let me just do this. Let's do an inset instead. So in order to be able to see that, let's make this a lighter color. And come to our offset. And we're going to do just a slight inset. That looks good right there, I think. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. And apply. So you can do your inset. I did the first one from the standard Cricut Sans regular. I did that, typed an S, made it bigger, and I made the first offset 0.25, which is a 1/4 inch bigger, and then the second offset, or I made an inset at 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to keep both of these here. Let's align those center and slice. Okay, I know this looks crazy, but that's okay. I'm just keeping this one just in case I need it. Let's go and look at some backgrounds in images. The letter S is perfect for Sue. There we go. We'll do an S for Sue. Let's see. Let's do a cheetah. Let's see if we can find the cheetah print. Now you could do this with snowflakes or whatever kind of background you have. You can do this technique. Let's see. I know there's some backgrounds in here. And there's one there. I don't know if that's the one I want to use, though. Here, there's another one. I think that one might be pretty good. I know there's several in here. There we go. That's the one I want. So I'm going to get rid of that first one and get rid of that second one. You can see the little cheetah print there. And you see how they did these cheetah letters? We're just going to do ours a little bit different. So I'm going to bring that cheetah pattern in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to arrange it. I'm going to send that to the back, because I want to take a look and size that up. And I'm looking at the inside of my S here and how I might want that to look. This one has pumpkins in it. This is not the same one, but we're going to use this one. We're going to use this one with pumpkins in it. It's fall. Why not? Kind of like that right there. I'm going to kind of place that right where I want those images. I'm going to bring this one back in, and I've got the black one selected. Let's just hide my yellow ones for now. I'm going to select both of those, and we're going to cover to combine, and we are going to do a subtract. Okay, and I did this to the back on purpose. See what happened? Remember, I told you guys, if it's the bottom layer is what it's going to leave you with. Whenever you do subtract, your bottom layer is what you're going to get. Okay, so that's why I sent that to the back so you could see. So I'm just going to undo that because I don't want, or you can unsubtract it or whatever it is down here. You can undo your subtract. I'm going to move that S to the back, okay? Because I want to select these two and do my subtract with my S being the bottom layer, and I subtract, then I'm left with this image here. Now let's unhide our slice results, and I can do this two ways. Let's see. That was my subtract. I forgot to duplicate that. Uh-oh. You could do it this way and weld that in and have your letter cut this way. I'm just going to do it just so you can see. And let's align. I think center it. And we can come in. I'm going to combine instead of weld because I can undo that. So let's unite it. And then you can see that it's got some cuts right here. You can come in and contour that out so that they're tacked up in more places, or just bump it over a little bit. So let's undo the unite, and I need to bump it over just slightly. That left a bigger gap, didn't it? There we go. And then you can unite those. I'm just going to undo this whole thing because that's not really the look I wanted. I just want the smaller areas in there. So I'm just hitting my undo button to get back to here. Okay, so now I have it this way, and if I do the intersect, then I'm left with just the prints. I know pumpkin, there's several in there, Diana. There's a bunch of different cheetah prints that has different themes in them. They're so cool. You guys have to go look at those. But if you do the intersect, then you're left with just the pieces to weld into your letter. So we can select those two and come in here and unite those. And I got a little bit of an area there. You can see that the outside of this S and right here, they're not clipping really good. So we don't want those to cut. So I'm just going to come in here and stretch that just a tiny bit. Just ever so slightly. And unhide that again. And let's try our unite again. And that's taking care of some of them. But I can come in here after, if I'm happy with it, but I've got one or two pieces in here, I can select those, come in here once I'm happy with it, and merge those layers. And then I can come into contour, and I can get rid of those little bitty pieces that I don't want to cut out of the sides there. Right there's a little place. You need to watch for those. You want those filled in. But super easy and simple to create your themed letters with confettis or stripes or cheetah prints. All of them are going to be the same. You're going to have to go in and play with them just a little bit, but you can get them in there. You could actually even make this as just a teeny tiny bit bigger to go make sure it's covering all of the areas, and then you'll get that in there. And do that for your subtract or your exclude. Does that help kind of show you guys a little bit more about exclude, how it works if you subtract when it's to the front or to the back, or when you exclude with it to the back? Does that make sense? Hi, Auntie Marge. Does anybody have any other questions on our unite, subtract, and intersect? We've covered exclude and all of that, but I just want to make sure that everybody is clear on the subtract. Because I had a couple of people say it wasn't subtracting right. Whatever your bottom piece is, that's what you're going to be left with. The bottom piece, whatever's on the bottom, that's what you're left with. Yay. As always, if you guys have questions, we can pop back over here and answer your questions. So make sure that you put those in caps and let us know so that we can see them in the chat, and we will cover your questions. I have my coffee sitting here. Move that out of the way. All right, so these are the cards, and this is the one that I'm calling the full flap. This was a Stampin' Up, I want to say, from, I can't remember, Jan B, I think. Jan B, I can't remember her last name. Forgive me, Jan, but anyway, she did a full flap, and I saw that. And then there are several that are doing like the little half flap. from Stampin' Up, and I wanted to make a designspace file for it. You've been playing with them, Kathy? Yeah, that's the easiest way to learn them. Go in there and play with them, guys. You are not going to mess anything up, and you don't have to save the file. You can just go in there and play. That's the easiest way to learn it. But anyway, when you open up this card, you can see that the doors will automatically open and reveal the inner side of the card. And I watched a couple of their videos on how they put theirs together, and it had a lot of bulk. This one has a lot of bulk, and I'm going to show you ways to, or tell you ways that you can cut the bulk down on this one. But there was a lot of bulk in this card that I didn't like, so I reworked it and came up with my own mechanism. Instead of doing it in 2 or 3 pieces, I did it in 1 piece, just so that it would lay flatter and better. This one is my favorite. This one's okay. I like it too. I kind of like the look of it, but it's very bulky, and once it gets bulky, it's kind of tough. It will still fit in a regular envelope, but you need a belly band or something around here to keep it closed because it wants to spring open once it's done. So I'm going to tell you a couple of ways to take down bulk as we put it together. Yeah, wow moment. And then this one, you open it up, and it does the same thing, but you can see that I've got the sentiment here on this one, leaving the whole inside for you to write or stamp whatever you may want to do on that, or foil it, whatever. And then I put the other sentiment right here, family is everything, to the inside of that flap with the Merry Christmas here. So there are a couple of ways that you can do this card. Again, this one is my favorite. It has less bulk. I feel like it works better. And I reworked this one several times, and I just couldn't get rid of that bulk. One way is to eliminate this piece and put it to the inside if you want. But with it being that half fold, I kind of like that little wow factor with it there. But you most certainly can move it to the inside. I don't know that it's going to help with the bulk of this right here. Another way is you can put this, make this smaller, and maybe this smaller, and bring the sentiment to the outside and bring this down to a square rather than a rectangle. And that will eliminate some of the bulk on this one. But I had already cut it before I put it together, so mine's just going to be bulky. Yeah, it's a pretty cool card. I like it. Let's start with the split top. I'm going to put that one to the side. That way you guys get to see me put it together twice, and you'll know. I'm not going to do both flowers. The other one I'm going to keep this one flat. I'm going to show you guys how I do the flower, because I'm going to, on the full flap, I do want some dimension. So I've just got a ball stylus. I've got my Cricut piercing pad, the other side of it, and I'm just going to give all of these petals some dimension by rolling it like so. You've seen me do this if you follow me. I do this flower almost every Christmas. Well, I do it every Christmas. It's my favorite one in there. But you can swap out, guys, you do not have to do this card at Christmas. You can make it fall. You can make it birthday. You can make this card a shower, a bridal shower. You can do anything that you want to do with this card. The base is all you need. Like I said, if you get rid of the sentiments and the flower in there, you've got just the basic base, and you can change it up to any theme that you want. It's a very versatile base. And just going to give that an indent. Right now I'm just curling all of these. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to turn my glue gun on. I got some glue on my pad over there. I forgot to do that one. Press it down in the center afterwards. And this is how you give your flowers a little bit of dimension. Super easy and simple. Now, Cricut does not sell this paper crafting kit anymore that has this in there, but you can get a flower pad on Amazon. I have an Amazon link down below if you need that. Now, I'm just going to put that one to the side because that's going to go on the other card. This one I'm just going to layer up flat for this card because it's got so much bulk on it anyway. And I'm just going to put a dot of glue right in the center. And then I'm going to bring these petals in and we're going to stack it. Just offsetting it from the other green. You just need a drop of glue. You don't need a whole lot. And then we're going to take the petal with 3 leaves. And it's going to overlap just a little bit on the others. But you want to go in between a couple of them. Then you're going to take the next one with the 3. And you're going to center that one up over that last one. You want to pay attention to the last one you put on, not the whole flower. And then you want to put the one that has the 4 petals on there. Let's see. Just rotate it where you like it. Like mine like that. And then you've got your larger of the 3 petals. I'm glad that dries matte and clear because I just smeared my glue. I'm using art glitter glue for this. And then last the other 3 petals. So you're just working your way up. And then I have some little rhinestones here. And I'm just going to wiggle one off and stick that right down in the center. And then we're just going to set that off to the side to dry for now. And we're going to get our base. And you have a score line on there. And you're just going to fold that over. I want my texture to the outside. Fold yours either way that you want. And it's very important to use your bone folder on this one, guys. I'm going to fold it back the other way and hopefully I can get it to relax a little bit better. Alright, next we're going to get our mechanisms. And if you cut more than one of these cards, you have a right and you have a left, okay? A right and a left. It does matter. And you're just going to fold on that long score all the way down. And you can cut these from different colors if you want. I just wanted it the same color as my base so that when they open up, it kind of blends in, that mechanism. I've seen some of them where they're putting little triangles of paper and all on there. I really didn't like that look for this card, but if you like it, that's totally fine. You can do that. So then you have 2 scores here. You're going to fold that one. And don't worry about which way you're folding it. We're going to fold them both ways. And give them a rub and then fold them back the other way. And then you're going to fold this one back the other way as well. Just so that it has some breakdown for that mechanism. Okay? And the way that we're going to put that in is just like this. You're going to fold this flat back and then you're going to fold this flat back. So that it looks like this. Okay? Just like this. And then we're going to do the same thing on this one. Folding that both ways. And then this one and fold it both ways. And then again, you're going to fold this flap to the back, and then you're going to fold this one over just like this. Okay? Next, you're going to take your card. I'm just going to open it back up, and we're going to put glue just on this long, skinny tab here. Okay? And you're going to bring this in. You're just going to hold this just like this, and you're going to bring it in. You want it even at the bottom. And if you make a mess like I do, don't worry, it'll be covered. And you're just going to press it down. You want the bottom to be completely even. And if this is hanging over the side just a little bit, it's okay. You can just push it back up, get it even with that edge, and just go over your bone folder again. Okay? So I want to make sure that you see it's completely even at the bottom with the base of the card, and that this piece, when it's folded over, comes to the edge of the card. Now, if you can't get yours to fold in there and there's any piece hanging out at all, it's not going to hurt anything to grab your scissors. Mine's not hanging off. I'm just showing you. If yours is hanging off, don't worry about it. Just be very careful. I'm just going to fold that back so you guys can see. And just trim off just the very little bit of an edge. So you don't have to worry. You just don't want it sticking out past the edge of your card up here. Okay? Super easy and simple. You're going to repeat that with this side. So we're just going to put glue on this tab. And I made the mechanism this way just to eliminate some of the bulk that I was seeing in these cards. And again, you're going to hold it because we want this edge even over here and this edge even down here, and we want it to meet in the middle to that door. So I just like to line it up right with the door and the bottom, and then just press it down. And then if mine's not hanging off the edge, I'm good with it. I'm just going to open it up and give those two a rub. I'm going to let that sit and adhere real quick. Then you have this square. We want to hide these tabs. So we're just going to place, and this is your panel that you can sign or stamp or whatever. I decided to leave mine blank for now. And then we're just going to place that right in their square. Making sure that these two pieces, and this piece can fold over. I got mine off just a little bit. Make sure that you've got yours in there good. It won't show once you're done though. So now that we have those in, we're going to fold this. I'm going to leave those just like that. It's easier this way, trust me, than it is to fight it later. I have these two pieces that I cut, and I cut these from some vellum that I had from Stampin' Up. But you can use any of your pattern paper that you want. Because it's vellum, I'm going to be using a tape runner on this just for time purposes. But you can glue yours down. And you want to bring that in and center it up on that panel. And then you want to do this side too. It's very important that you get all of these in. It's going to be much, much easier for you to do these now. You can do it later, but you have to fight the card not opening up all the way from that mechanism. So we're going to place that one there. And then you have 4 of these panels, and I did these from the light mint or pastel green from the foil poster boards, and you can glue yours in as well. I glued them on the other ones. You could even deboss something on these if you want to, guys. Super easy. You can deboss on them and have a pattern on these on the inside. Would be gorgeous. I was going to do that and just ran out of time. You're going to place another one there. And then we're going to close it up. We still have our tails up there, so let's see, that's the front. Here's our other 2. And this actually goes, oh, this is the front, okay. We're going to do these 2. I keep thinking I'm doing the full flap, and I'm not. This is the half flap. Place that panel there. and that panel there. Then you have your decorative panels. And I use some poinsettia paper. I don't, honestly, since the move, I don't have anything labeled. I don't know where it came from. I want to say it's either Stampin' Up or Close to My Heart, I think. And then you're going to put another one here. Or you could put these panels to the inside and then deboss these if you want to. Alright, and now I'm just going to flip that over. You can see my glue coming through. That'll disappear. If you're using red, that will happen. Just going to take this panel. And again, you can use any pattern paper that you want. And that's going to be my front piece. Right here. Didn't get it even. Alright, so now we have our flaps. Everything is there. That's good to go. Now, with these folded in, these two tabs, you'll want to put glue right here on this triangle only. And this triangle right here only. You don't want to get glue in this area. Okay? So we're just going to do a little bit of glue on. My glue's coming out too fast. Get some of that off of there. I don't want it squishing out. So you're going to close this up. You're going to hold these two down. And you're going to close that flap. And you're just going to hold it for a second. Hey, Kathy Ann. Hey, Connie. Yay, I'm glad that you found that, Connie. And I'll pop back over and cover that for those of you who are pulling up some of your older files or maybe some of my older files and things. Oh, don't let me forget. And I'm just going to give that a little bit of a rub. We're going to let that... That's why it's very important not to use too much glue. You don't want that glue to squish out right there because you'll glue your mechanism shut. Okay? That's what makes the card work. So when they open this, it opens. Okay? And now, again, I think I'm going to do this one a little bit different, guys. I think. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and place my sentiment on this panel here. Kind of like that. And I have my wheels turning again. I kind of like that, really. But let's see. Ooh, I really like that. Either way that you want to do it. I'm going to do this the same way I did the other one, just so that you guys can see how to put it together. Just going to put a little glue on the edge of that. And I'm going to bring this up and place it right there, center, so that it's only stuck on one side, on one door, okay? And then we're going to place these panels together. And again, you can make this square. I would probably make it square and it will end up better instead of rectangle. Like I said, I ran out of time and didn't have time to rework it. But if you don't mind the bulk. Now, because this is a flocked vellum, regular glue won't stick. So I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue on there. And line that panel up in the center and stick that down. And then I'm going to take my second panel, my white panel here. You can make this any color that you want. And I'm going to pop it down. right there. Just because it was flocked vellum makes it difficult. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this flower and pop it right on the center of that. Yeah, you could use a little sticky Velcro button to close it, Lynn. You could also put a magnet under one of these panels here and under this panel and have the magnet hold it closed. That would probably work as well if you don't want the sticky Velcro to show. A couple of ways to do it. But, I mean, it's going to flatten out and relax a little bit. I mean, that we just made it, so it's, you know, still fresh. It has that little bit of a memory. Once it's in the envelope or in the mail, then it's probably going to flatten out somewhat. Once I pull it out of the envelope, it's going to be a little bit flatter. Okay. And then this I put to the inside right here. Just going to. Hi, Billy. And then we're just going to place that right on the inside. Super easy and simple. With a pack and a punch. I love this. Love, love, love. All right, so there's that one. And again, this one's going to go together basically the same way. We're going to do our flower here that we already gave dimension. We're just going to start with a little bit of glue and start stacking these. Super easy. I'm just going to bring my pad back because that's damp down in the center from all that glue, and I'm just going to give it a push down to give it that little indentation and make it pop up a little bit. And you can use Nuvo drops, whatever it is that you want for the center of this. You can cut some yellow or gold paper, and my rhinestone just got away from me. There it is. And just going to get that in the center and give that a push down. And I did use my extra fine black 0.3 pen for all of my writing on this card. So now our flower is ready to go. And we're going to bring in this base and we're just going to fold it on its score. Okay, so this one's going to be our full card. And then I'm going to put the vellum right down on this base. That's going to be our front. I'm just going to go ahead and glue these together, but I'm not going to put this on yet. Those are our front pieces. And then we're going to get our mechanisms. That's our next step. And you're going to fold those the exact same way. So fold on the long, skinny tab. And then fold back. And fold it the other way as well on your mechanism piece. So that one's ready to go. And again on this one. And again, make sure that you're opening that up and folding it both ways to give it some play. It's going to help relax your card. Can vellum be debossed? Yes, Diana, it can. You just have to be very careful because some vellums will crack and give little torn places, but it's a really cool look even if it does that. And it will give it those white areas where it compressed in there. It's really cool. I encourage you to try it. So then we're going to open that up. And we're going to do the exact same thing we did before. We're just going to put glue on this long skinny tab. We're going to make sure that we line up exactly at the bottom of the card. And we want that mechanism to be right there on that edge. I'm just going to open it up and give that a rub. Put a little bit of glue in there. Make sure you get that out. If that happens, you don't want to glue this down. Just make sure that it's going to that edge. And then the same with this side. We're going to repeat that. Once you learn to fold it, it goes together really quick. See if I can't get this one even. My doors are touching. Just going to open that up and give that a rub down. And again, if it's hanging off at all, just go in and trim it. I don't think it's going to, but I'm going to give that a little bit of a trim. I just like to fold it back and just bring it up to the top so that I can just trim it without damaging anything. Just want to make sure that when the doors are closed, that it doesn't stick out over the edge of the card. Okay? Not sticking out once it's folded back. Okay? That one just, for some reason, looks off. Maybe I missed my score. There we go. That looks better. And again, you're going to repeat the steps. You're just going to fold those up and put in all of your panels. I didn't get that straight. Make sure you get yours straight. And I'm using a Tombow runner on these. And you can see the glue dots through the vellums. If you're going to use vellum like I am, I just couldn't find my... Because of the move, I could not find my runner. I have a refill here. Let's see. I get these off of Amazon, guys, and you can get them and you get tons of refills with them, and they're really inexpensive. And they have three. They have a dots, which is a pink one. Then they have just a regular tape, which is the blue one. And then they have one that is for vellum, okay? This is a vellum adhesive, and it does not show like the others do. I love this, but I couldn't find the one I had open, so I just said, well, I can still show you guys how to put it together. I'm still trying to get things organized here from them having to relocate. So we have our 4 foil poster board panels. And again, if you want to deboss these, you can. And give it that extra little pop. I'm just going to open those back up. Those in there. Again, It's up to you if you want to put these to the inside or to the outside. That's your call. Deboss one, cover one, deboss all four, and eliminate this panel if you want. Okay, open that. And then this panel, make sure I got it going the right way. Because if it doesn't fit between the lines, you've got it going the wrong way. If it doesn't fit between the doors, make sure you're adhering it properly. And you can stamp on that, or you can do this one the same way we did the other. If you want to do this way, I would leave this frame solid and put this on the top if you want to do that and make it a little bit smaller. But I'm going to do this to the inside. Get my glue out of there. I think that's even. And then I did this as an inlay. If you prefer to pop it up, you can do that. But I wanted it to lay as flat as possible. So I'm inlaying it right into that frame. Okay. How easy. Then once you've done all of that, you're going to fold these two tabs back again and just on that triangle. Okay, once you have that done, you want to hold those down and close the front. Okay, I'm just going to give those a rub. I'm going to open it up, but not all the way, and I'm going to hold it to check to make sure I didn't have any glue squish out. And then I'm going to close it, give it time to grab. And again, because this is flocked vellum, it has that velvety feel. Regular glue doesn't like to work on it, so I'm going to use my hot glue here. Put that right on the front. And then I'm going to put a little bit on my flour, and we're going to pop that down. You can do center or to the side, totally up to you. I want the leaf to kind of come over that banner. It's the way I did this, just so that leaf just barely comes over the banner a little bit. And we're done. Super easy. This one is my favorite. This one's okay. Again, I don't like the bulk. You could reduce some of the bulk maybe by not putting this piece in and putting your piece here. And then putting your banner on the top and making this square instead of rectangle. But they're both pretty. Thank you, Kathy. Hi, Diane. I used to do Stampin' Up, and I used to scrapbook years and years and years and years and years ago, many years ago. I'm in my 60s. Most people don't realize that, but I'm in my 60s. So I've been doing this a long time. And occasionally I run across something I haven't seen before, and I hadn't seen these. And I found them under two different names. So I lost all of my books in the flood. All of my craft books are all gone. All of my notebooks where I had notes of all of my handwritten dimensions, all of those are gone. I have a good many of them in Designspace where I've recreated the Stampin' Up files into Designspace files. But now I'm having to look other resources and if I can find the names, because people are calling things that we did 15, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they call them different things now. So I run across something by other names and then I can create them. But I had not seen this one, so I thought I would recreate it. And update it from what they were doing. So I looked and watched their videos on how they did it, and then I used some of their dimensions and then changed some of them and updated the card for something that I could use. And I didn't get that glued well. If you don't get that glued well, make sure you go in and glue it. You don't want that corner to pop apart on you. I should have waited till it dried before I started playing with it. So guys, make sure you wait. You don't want that corner pulling loose like mine did. So I'm just going to hold this really easily right here. So, but a lot of things, I mean, I might see something. I have this thing, my brain does this thing. Sometimes I can see something and I'm like, oh, that's pretty easy. And I can just go in and design it and my brain will show it just works weird. I can make it from just seeing a design. And some things I need the dimensions on. It just depends on what it is. Boxes, generally, I can just do that in my sleep. My boxes are my thing. But when it comes to interactive, sometimes I have to see the working mechanisms in order to be able to recreate it. All right. Does anybody have any other design space questions? I don't know what I did with my... There it is. And these are supporter files. Guys, if you're a supporter on Patreon or Ko-fi or the YouTube channel, then you have access to these files. They're on craftingwithapril.co. Yeah, Kathy Ann. I used to play piano by ear. That's funny that you say that. When I was a kid. So don't forget... I want a Cricut auto press for Christmas. Only a Cricut auto press will do. I better shut up before I embarrass myself here. So make sure that you're playing the Merry Auto Pressmas and you're getting your design in for that. And don't forget the Crafter's Choice giveaways too, because those are going to be going on at the same time the auto press is going on. Does anybody have any questions on the giveaways, design space, the card design, unite, subtract, undo unite, intersect, exclude? Your birthday's in December, Diane? My niece is born on Christmas Day. All right, if you guys don't have any other questions, freebie file coming to you guys tomorrow. I will be assembling or doing that project live. It will be a random time. I have to finish designing it and making sure that everything is cohesive on it, and then I will go live and we will assemble. Oh, about finding a font. Mary Lou, thank you very, very, very much. Okay, so let me pop over there. Let's say, let me get rid of these guys. We don't need those. Let's say that you have a font. Let's go. I'm just going to pick something. I'm going to pick this Cricut font here. And then I'm going to duplicate that. And then I'm going to pick a system font as well. Go over to system fonts. And let's see. All right, so I have two different things of text here. One is a Cricut font and one is a regular font. If I come in and because with the new renaming, it used to give us the name of the font right here. Okay. You can always go in and you can name it after you weld it. So let's weld first, because you would get weld result anyway when you weld. So if I weld that font, it doesn't give me the font name. I can come in here and I can say this is Alyssa. Okay. And remind myself. That's one way that you can do it. But if you have an older file that you've already done this to and you can't rename it yet, or you don't know what it is to rename it, you can right click right here and come down to image info, and it's grayed out. Okay, but it's there and it says Alyssa Stencil Script. So I know what that font is even though I welded it. Okay, so that's going to be there for you. Also, if you come in, I have to save it. So after you've saved it, you don't know, you can click on your title and it will tell you right here, images and fonts used in this project. It will tell you, even if it's welded, if it's sliced, doesn't matter. It will tell you what your Cricut font is. It will not give you your system font. It will not give you the system font. Now I'm going to weld this one, and this one was Balloon Bash. I'm just going to weld it. This was Balloon Bash. So I can come in here, and with the new system, I can rename it Balloon Bash so that I know what I used. But if I'm opening up an older, I can come in here and you can see, even though that's a system font, Balloon Bash is still there. Could be a little difficult to see, but you can see it. Even if I save it and come back later, it will be there. It will not show up here. It will only show you your Cricut ones and Cricut images. It will not show you your upload, or it might show you uploaded with a number on an image, but on a font it will not show you. Okay, so again, just go to your image info and right there. And as far as I know, that's only available on computer. I have not checked mobile lately. I know before on mobile we could not do that. You had to be on a computer to do it. December 18th, Diane, and Kathy, December 11th. Yeah, lots of December birthdays. So anytime that you need to find out what you've done in a project, it doesn't matter, any project, you can come in there and you can look under your title and you can find it that way, or you can go to your projects. And let me just find a really old project. Let me scroll down here somewhere. Something that has text in it, maybe. Let's see. Okay, here's one. This was Tuesday. That was this year. You can see that it says I used the Canvas regular font on that. Right there in my title. But if I were to customize, just going to replace that other one. If I come in there to customize, I welded everything, but if I right click it, image info, and it tells me right here at the top, font, Canvas regular. So that's the way you're going to do it with your older ones. And if you want to come in, now we can rename. So if you want to see it at a glance, you can see that at a glance now. Yours doesn't show on the main project, and it was a Cricut font, Connie. Maybe clear your cache, because it should be there. It should be there. It might be further down. You might have to use your little scroll bar and go down. It depends on how many images you have in there. Maybe it's just not showing because of that, Because if you have a ton of images or a ton of fonts in there, you may not be seeing it. You may have to scroll down a little bit further. And there may be a limit as to how much it can show you there. And that's why the layers panel thing comes in handy. Because if there's a limit on how much they can fit into this space, then it may not pop up in there. So you can right click on it and come in here and get it that way. You're very welcome. All right, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you to my moderators. Thank you to all my supporters. You guys are awesome. And I will catch you tomorrow during the live. If not, see you next Thursday. Or maybe even Monday. Who knows? Might pop in another live on Monday. You have several images there. That's probably what it is. It's probably just down below those. So, all right, guys. Make sure you enter those giveaways. You're welcome.